Build your dreams, live rich, and leave rich.
Hello and welcome. My name is Krish. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most important, but maybe one of the most misunderstood numbers in your entire financial life, and that's your credit score. You know, this one little number can either unlock your biggest dreams, or it can slam the door right in your face. And my goal today is that by the end of our time together, you'll know exactly how to become the master of it. You know, our whole philosophy here is really simple. Living rich doesn't mean having the most lavish things. It means living peacefully without that constant hum of financial anxiety in the back of your mind. And the foundation for that peace, the very thing that lets you get a home loan without stress or start that business you've been dreaming of with confidence, well, it all starts with what we're talking about today. All right, and just a quick but really important heads up, everything we talk about here is for your education. Think of me as your guide, but I'm not your financial advisor. So before you go making any big money moves, please talk to a SABI registered professional. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into it. I'm sure you've heard it your whole life, right? We've been told this story in India for decades, that credit is evil, that credit cards are nothing but a trap. But you know what? That's just way too simple. A credit card isn't inherently good or bad. It's more like a mirror. It just reflects your habits, your discipline, or a lack of it right back at you. If you're disciplined, it's an incredible tool for building wealth. If you're not, yeah, it can cause a lot of damage. The tool itself isn't the problem. It's all about how you choose to use it. So let me ask you this. Imagine you land a fantastic job. You're making 1.5 lakhs a month. You feel on top of the world. You walk into the bank and say, "I'd like a 50 lakh rupee home loan, please." They just look at your payslip and hand over the check? No way. Not even close. Your salary is just one small part of it. What they're really looking for is something deeper. They're looking for your character, for your reliability. They're looking for your history. They're looking for one simple 3-digit number that tells them your whole financial story. So here's my promise to you. Stick with me, and by the end of this explainer, I will hand you the master key to the entire Indian banking system. You're going to learn exactly how this little 3-digit number decides whether you get your dream home or not. And I'll give you the exact step-by-step formula to push that score above 800. This is about putting you back in complete control. Okay, so to really understand this secret number, we can forget all the complicated financial jargon. We don't need it. All we need is an idea that all of us have seen in our own neighborhoods. Let's just call it the banker's secret book. I want you to picture your local kirana store owner. Let's call him Gupta ji. We all know a Gupta ji, right? Now, for his regular customers, he keeps a small notebook. It's his udhar khata. When you're a little short on cash, you can take some groceries, and he just makes a little note. You promise to pay him back on the first of the month. It's a system built entirely on a record of trust. It's personal, it's human. Now, imagine two of his customers. Let's say person A always pays Gupta ji back on the first of the month, on the dot. For 5 years straight, he has never ever been a day late. Then you have person B. He also takes things on udhar, but he's a bit forgetful. Sometimes he pays on the 5th, sometimes the 10th. Sometimes Gupta ji has to call him up and remind him. Now, if both of them suddenly walk in one day and ask for 20,000 rupees for a family emergency, who do you think gets the money, no questions asked? It's person A, of course. But why? Because person A has built an incredible trust score in Gupta ji's little book. And right there, that is the big secret. Your CIBIL score is nothing more than a giant computerized nationwide udhar book. But here's the crazy part. Instead of just Gupta ji having this book, every single bank in India, SBI, HDFC, ICICI, all of them, they all share and write in the very same book. Every single loan you take, every EMI you pay, every credit card you own is a new line in that book. Every payment you make, whether it's on time or late, gets recorded. And this massive system then calculates your ultimate trust score for the whole world to see. That's it. That's all a CIBIL score really is. It's just your reputation turned into a number. All right, so now that we get what it is conceptually, let's break down how you're graded. The easiest way to think about it is like your old school report card. There's a range, and believe me, different grades lead to very, very different outcomes in life. So the score runs on a scale from 300 to 900. You can think of 300 as basically a big F, a failing grade. It screams major risk to the banks, and getting any kind of loan is pretty much impossible. Then you've got the middle round, say 650 to 750. That's, well, it's average. You might get approved for a loan, but they're probably going to charge you a higher interest rate to cover their risk. But the place you want to be, the place where the banks literally roll out the red carpet for you, is what I call the golden zone. Anything 750 and above. A score over 800? That tells every lender you are the gold standard. You're reliable, you're trustworthy. So why does being in this golden zone matter so much? Is it just about getting approved? Not at all. Let me give you a number. 27 lakh rupees. That, my friends, is how much extra money you could end up paying in interest on a 50 lakh rupee home loan over 20 years if your score is just average instead of excellent. This isn't just a small detail, that's life-changing money. It's the difference between building real wealth and just being stuck paying off EMIs for decades. Okay, so how do we get there? How do we break into that golden zone? The great news is it's not about some complex secret financial strategy. It really just comes down to two simple golden rules. If you can master these two things, I promise you, you are 90% of the way there. Golden rule number one, if you forget everything else I say today, please just remember this. The absolute king, the single most important factor that makes up your score is your repayment history. It's just like with Guptaji. The most powerful thing you can do is simply pay your bills on time. Every single bill, every single time. Just one late payment can leave a stain on your report for years. It sends a signal that your word, your promise to pay, can't be fully trusted. So your number one job is to make paying your bills on time a non-negotiable habit. No excuses. Now for the second golden rule, and this is one where so many well-intentioned people trip up. It's called the age of credit. See, banks love stability. They love long-term relationships. They want to see a long, boring history of you being responsible. And this is why one of the biggest mistakes you can make is closing your oldest credit card. Let's say you got your very first card 10 years ago. Even if you barely use it now, keeping that account open shows a decade of history. If you close it, poof, your credit history suddenly looks 10 years younger. And a 10-year track record of perfect payments is infinitely more powerful than a 6-month one. So the rule is dead simple. Whatever you do, never close your oldest credit card. Okay, now let's talk about the biggest trap of all. This is the one that catches people even when they're paying every single bill on time. It's a mistake that makes you look financially stressed to the banks, even when you feel like you're doing everything right. I call it the desperation trap. The technical term for it is the credit utilization ratio. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just the percentage of your total available credit limit that you're currently using. So if your credit card has a limit of 1 lakh rupees and you've spent 50,000, your utilization is 50%. Simple as that. Now, here's the crucial part. Let's say your limit is 1 lakh, and every month you spend 95,000 rupees. Now, even if you pay that 95,000 back in full and on time, the system looks at that and flags you as credit hungry. It makes it seem like you're desperate for cash, like you're living right on the edge, and that is a huge red flag. So here's the magic number you need to burn into your brain. 30%. Always, always aim to keep your spending below 30% of your total credit limit. On a 1 lakh limit, that means you try not to have more than 30,000 outstanding at any time. This shows the system you're disciplined. And ironically, by showing the banks you don't need all of their money, they trust you with more of it. Okay, so some of you might be listening to all this and thinking, Krish, this is great, but it's too late for me. I've already made some of these mistakes and my score is a mess. Well, I have some really good news for you. Your credit score is not permanent, it is not a tattoo, it's a living, breathing number, and it can absolutely be repaired with discipline and a little bit of patience. So let's walk through the exact comeback plan, step by step. Step 1. Hit the brakes. Stop applying for any new loans or credit cards immediately. Every time you apply, the bank does an official check called a hard inquiry. Too many of those in a short period of time makes you look desperate, and it dings your score. Step 2. Automate everything. I mean everything. Set up auto debit from your bank account for every single EMI and bill. This takes human error, like just forgetting, completely out of the equation. Step 3. Attack your balances. Your mission is to get that credit utilization ratio down below 30%. And finally, step 4. You have to be patient. Your credit score is like a giant slow-moving elephant, not a Ferrari. It takes at least 6 to 12 months of consistent, perfect behavior to see that score really start to climb back up. All right. Just to make sure we've got the key ideas locked in, let's do a super quick jargon buster. Your CIBIL score is basically your financial trust score. Credit utilization is just the percentage of your credit limit you're actually using. A hard inquiry is an official credit check that happens when you apply for a loan. And a default? That's when you completely fail to repay a loan, and it's the worst possible thing for your score. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. Your credit score is so much more than just a number. It's your financial reputation. It's the sum total of all the promises you've kept. So, I want you to ask yourself honestly, are you treating that reputation like a joke? Or are you consciously, day by day, building an unbreakable fortress of trust? A fortress that will open doors for you and your family for the rest of your life. Because the choice and all of the power is 100% in your hands. If you found this useful, it would mean the world to me if you'd subscribe, hit that like button, and maybe share this with one person you know who really needs to hear it. For more on building real, lasting wealth, you can check out the Legacy Diary. The link is down in the description. Thanks so much for your time. Live rich and leave rich.